Hello, it is I, Dr. Brian Lorgon 111, and welcome back to Lingo 2. Daisy. Cyanides. Remove 3 letters. Scramble them up. Oops, I spelled it wrong again. Daisy! Somehow I didn't manage to figure out that and that are almost in the same position against this wall that I guess you could say is daisy colored for like a white daisy would be daisy. I spent so much time on that. And yeah, then I was like eating pizza for lunch later. And I was just like sitting, chomping on my pizza, and all of a sudden I was like, Daisy! I feel like this is probably going to lead to an ending because it has like all these colors coming together. But I don't know that I have found all the things in here yet. And there's still like, yeah, like the hay and the... I'm going to wander around here a little bit more and just see if I can find anything else noteworthy. Right, I need the X to finish off this section with fox, tox, lox, hox, buttocks, buttocks. Right. But I don't have an X, because it's impossible to get, even though it tells me where to get it. Well, I'm back in the plaza. One thing I noticed is there's a tiny little hallway here, but I can't do anything with it. But also, there's a panel here that's solvable. I blew this up, and it says figurative, and it's 8 letters. Symbolic. Does solve that, but it didn't unlock this door. I should look through any of the other green doors and see if there's any solvable puzzles that I can get at. Oh! Courtyard. This could be good if this opens this. Courtyard. A word that means a courtyard. A garden. A... What's another word for a courtyard? Just a court? A yard? Speaking of yard, there was a clue that was foot is part of and is part of. I was thinking a foot is part of a yard and yard's part of a house maybe or something. Courtyard. What's another word for courtyard? Oh my gosh. The plaza. P-L-A-Z-A. Boom. I did it. I opened the courtyard of the plaza. It's a plaza. Bird. I just had these yellow stars and I forgot what it was. Is that is usually housed in or located in? What is the stars? Stars going up. Where do they work or where are they usually found inside of? Yes. So a bird is usually found in a tree. A bird is usually found in a bush. A bird is usually found in a nest. Haha! A judge. His job is the law. A squirrel is found in a tree, for sure. A dentist. What does a dentist do? Maybe drill, and I don't have 2 L's? I don't know. A fox. What do you call, like, the little house to the hole that, like, the fox is in? Oh, wait a minute. No, this is, yeah, is usually found in... not a hut. A den? Yeah. A reporter. His job is the news. Okay, and a dentist's job is... could be teeth as well, and I don't have 2 T's. That might make sense. This is where I just came in the courtyard. This is a new area where I could see some puzzles and potentially solve them, but they're not unlocked to me yet. And I have a feeling that that's like a type of sequence breaking that like you're allowed to do, but isn't really intended. Yeah, without blowing this up, I really can't read these. Actually, that says fly. And it might be whose job is it to fly? A pilot? No, it's only 4 letters. Fly. I think that's the job sign. A fly's job is to buzz? I don't know. I might not be reading the symbol correctly. So, also, there's a checkerboard, but then in the center of the checkerboard there's a different symbol of some description that I'm struggling. Oh, it's an eye. It's the same kind of eye symbol that we keep seeing. The eyes here lies. Okay. Well, we made some kind of progress. Maybe if I'm able to solve this, it will open this up. And I guess just getting the double A's. Maybe I hadn't been back to the plaza since I had double A's. In which case, it might be the case that I also... So I originally came in here. I might not have been back into these two places. So let's take a look. Remind me what's here. This is just this. I was just here. What about over here? Is this anywhere I might not have been back to recently? No, this just dead-ended. It does suggest... Yeah, I've already got the cyan M. And yeah, even when I opened the green door, it dead-ended on the other side over here. So I don't think that this is a place that I need to go now. And finally, remind me what's through here. This is how I originally came into the plaza a while ago. Yeah, and this is, yeah, trick or treat. And the fact that there's nothing on the back. I mean, his guess is kind of like a treat. Mistreat. All of a sudden... Oh, the plaza is... Okay, the plaza is a go-toable place. And it just... You have to solve enough things before these get unlocked or something. In any case, mistreat. So find the letters, write the words. There's this symbol. Mistreat. I wonder if this symbol could somehow be related to stuff you see on rotating, floating words or something. It's only 4 letters, so it can't be treat. And it's not, or the complement of whatever this thing means. Could it be mist? I still don't know what that is, and I had... Wasn't there one in the courtyard over here? How do I get to the courtyard over here? This open courtyard. One of these... Yeah. Shed. This is environmental context, and then this... half-finished shed. Because we're standing in a half-finished shed. Here's the wood, here's the blah. So... This is look at nearby panels. Maybe I had this wrong, and maybe this is environment? Look at nearby panels with the environment, because the other place that I had the smiley was right here. And it's because this was where we got the B, this is where we got the R, this is where we got the O, inside this building on the other side of these things. So maybe this is look at nearby panels? Let's go back to the entryway again. Find the letters. Write the words. So maybe it's something with the letters and words. Letters, B-R-O. Words. How do I rectify those things? Words. Because this is putting together nearby letters. This... I was right. Nearby letters. I just want to see... So half... Yeah, it was done versus finished. Half finished shed. That's another way to read it. Like, we're S-H-A-D and then words. Maybe this is nearby? Well, and this is words? Yeah, I just still don't have a good sense of what that means. Did I do everything there is to do in this section? Everything except for use the X to go to the graveyard, which I'm fairly certain is what I'm going to have to do. But in order to get the X, we have to... You said hi, but you didn't say bye. And I was thinking about that as well. So, you said hi, but you didn't say bye. I see, this is the other side of the orange wall. What did he say? Do you know? I do not. Do you see? I do not. There's a hi bye that opened this door. Why is it not red? Yeah, that was just kind of tutorial at the beginning. So this door brings me to this room, the between. I'm not sure what it's between exactly. There's still things I can't solve here because I don't have double S or double T or different things that I need. Double O. There's trick or treat again, and then on this side, I said hi, but I didn't say bye. Remind me where this goes? Somewhere where I got a letter, okay. And this... Okay, brings me to this eyeball. This eyeball, I guess, teleported from somewhere else. Eyes, yeah. So I could teleport through there, or I could go through this. Remind me what this is. This is also where I got, like, a double letter or something. Yeah. And so the only other way to go, then, is through this one. And that brings me here, where I don't have enough letters to solve everything, and I don't think there's anything I can do, but let me look through all these hallways again. Oh, right, corners. And it started with B. 4-letter words that start with B. I'm gonna go look them up online. You go around corners, you go around the bend. There are lots of words that start with B, so I'm just using plausible ones. You ride a bike around corners. A bowl is an object with no corners. Yeah, so that didn't work. I could put down letters. How easy is it to get back here? What is the quickest way to here from somewhere teleportable? Actually, I can get there from the entryway pretty easily. So let's do this. Let's return to the control center. And let's discover what vowels are in the word. If I get rid of E... Oh, I can't get rid of my A anymore. Or can I? I can't remember. If I get rid of my A, yeah, it does get rid of all of my A's. So if I get rid of E and A, and then I return to the entry, and then I go through here... right, I have to go through the red side and then through the red side. Then if I go through the blue, then I'm here. Corners. It's still solvable. So it doesn't involve an E or an A. So then I go back to the control center. So E and A are not in it. I and U, and then return to the entry. And go through the red hand side and go through the blue. It's still solvable. So it uses an O as the only vowel. Alright. Does that help me? I think I'm going to need more letters. So, or it could be a Y as the only letter as well. I guess I'll drop off my Y just to make sure. And let's try some unlikely letters like W and J and P. And let's make sure that none of those are in the word. So if I go to the entry, I've done some of this off camera. It's good to do some on camera just so you completely understand what I'm doing. It's still solvable. So none of those letters were used. So it's definitely an O as the only vowel. And none of these other uncommon letters have been used. So I have BO, and then let's get rid of some common letters and try to... So suppose I put down an L and a T. Those are very common letters. And so now is it still solvable? The answer may surprise you. It's still solvable, so it doesn't use an L or a T. I thought for sure one of those would turn the panel red. What about a C? Or a R? R goes with B a whole lot. Return to the entry. Go through the blue. It's finally unsolvable. Okay, so we know it has a B. We know it has an O. Sorry, wrong place. We know it has a B. We know it has an O. It has at least a C or an R. What if it's B-R-O-W? Let's make sure it's the R. Yeah, let's just make sure it's the R. And then I should be able to just solve it. So, can I solve it right now? No. So the R is required. So I think we have all the information we need to figure it out from here. So it has a B, an R, and an O. So, turn to the entry. Corners, question mark. B-R-O-W, B-R-O-S, B-R-O... I think that's everything. B-O-R... Okay. B-O-R-N. I was thinking I ruled out N, but I guess not. Okay, born. Corners, born. Brown. Red. Is there a way to get born out of this? I don't understand this. But it does give me this, but I've teleported through here as well from the initial room. So I don't think this actually got me anything. Because I have been here before, right? It says orange on the door, yeah. And then it leads down to this hallway where everything is rigged. Keep control. Keep calm and so there's a red door that's currently open because rig is currently solved, and I want it to say right. And if I type R-I-G trying to get right, it stops with rig. So another thing I was thinking, the dots maybe are on panels that have multiple solutions. I should actually, I kind of thought about that and then forgot to like follow up on it. Is there a way to like disqualify... Like this is lit up blue right now. Why is that one lit up blue right now? Yeah, it's lit up blue even now. And I can't click on it because it's too far away. Like this one, it's not lighting up blue. So I need to turn that off somehow. Keep calm and keep control. In any case, there's another place nearby in the entry that has multiple solutions with the left-right thing. This has a dot on it, and open and left and right all solve this. So I think panels with a dot admit multiple solutions. And so it might behoove me to go back through the world and find all the panels. Hi. You said hi, but you didn't say bye. Holy crap. I'm gonna get my X. There's my X. Okay. that was probably not the same sequence of events that caused other people to get this letter. But here I am. Also, here I am. I have multiple places to use the X. Entry. Exit. I have to click on it. Exit. Alright. And now we're back in the control place. Okay, great. Let me check my notes. Do I need to check my notes? No, I remember. It was in the... I can get there from the back and forth, actually. The Fox Locks box kind of stuff. So somewhere not super far through here in like a gray section. Assuming I can find my way back to that. I don't remember the way that the colors go in here. I think it's through here. It's the Fox Locks box. This is like the cyan crazy stuff. That's that stuff. There's sickness and health. Here's going back. Here is lots of colors that have opened up together. And maybe over on this end. There's a black hallway. I think it's through here. I think it's through here. It's not through here. Here it is. Talks. Rhymes with talks. Box. Fox. Okay. Hawks. I apparently don't have... I was gonna say squawks, maybe. I don't have the right thing there. Squawks, talks. Locks, hawks, fox, box. Fox, locks, box. Box and locks. There's the army ant again. Oh, this is where I came in. So it is right there. Okay, so I think I went through all of those X's. Let me check my notes. I have other X's. Oh, I know where the other X's are. Bartender mix. Without high open, I can't get out of here. So buy is just to... Okay. And I have to... The dot means multiple solutions. I have to write that somehow. Okay, I've updated my notes. There's also the X marks the spot in the graveyard. How are you supposed to figure out that high buy? I guess because the thing that looked like the opening room had high and buy as like the top and the bottom of the clue, and so you're just supposed to intuit that you could do that, and also have discovered that some things have dots on them, and that means that there's multiple possible answers to the thing. In any case, bartender mix is in here. A blender can mix. A bartender can mix. And a thing that cleans is... There's lots of possible thing that cleans. A thing whose job it is to clean, or a person whose job it is to clean. A housekeeper. There was some other clue that I was thinking the answer was going to be kitchen too, but I guess it's not here. Okay, so... I don't know that I'd been back here in a while, so I'm not sure if it's the X that I was required to get that. But we have that as the one remaining thing in here. And so if I go to the open nature courtyard and drop an X on the floor, a passage to a graveyard will open, is my prediction. I am incorrect. I was sure it was going to be X marks the spot. I have all the letters, so let's just try them. W, E, R, T, Y, U, I, O, P, A, S, T, F, G, H, J, K, L, Z, X, C, V, B, N, M. Maybe the geometry here isn't meaningful, but it sure looks like an X marks the spot kind of place, right? Like there's an X of dashes that's like the end of the path. Like, let's go read the clue about the graveyard again. Oh, also, did I ever get the house? Do I have the letters to do it? I do. A home is part of a something. A home is part of a something. Did I need the X in order to solve that? Let's go drop the X back off really quick. Because it's also possible I need to solve that in order to get the graveyard to open. But I'll go read the graveyard clue again in a minute. Okay, I do need the X to solve home and home. And so that's a single letter constraint. But I think I can do it now. So recall that this was like concessions are part of a stadium. Bleachers part of a stadium. And for some reason this is home and home. Home is part of something containing the letter X. Home plate is part of baseball. A home is part of a neighborhood. Home is a key on the keyboard that's part of the navigation keys. What else can home be a part of? Like home, the verb to like home in on something, is not as useful because I don't feel like verbs are typically a part of something. Graveyard waits below. Waits. Maybe I have to wait on that spot. And we'll try that in a short bit. While I'm trying to think about home, let's give myself a little bit of leverage. Home. It does require an E, as expected. Does it require an S? Home is a part of... Room is a part of a hotel. Lobby is a part of a hotel. Two different homes are a part of a duplex. That's why it's two homes. Great. I solved all of this. This is a 0. And my reward is the satisfaction of having solved a puzzle. Let me go retrieve my letter over here. Thank you, letter S. Now let's try waiting. I don't seem to be falling into a graveyard. Graveyard waits below. This is clearly a place to dig for treasure or dig your way down to a graveyard. Did I do this? Yeah, I already did this. It was related to this clue. It could be the cleaner because that's right here, and so maybe I need to solve the cleaner clue. So if I want to figure out what cleans, let's find out if the X was related. Can I see the cleaner clue through the window by any chance? No, it's way over on the other side. I can't see it from here. Let's drop off the X. And let's go see if cleaners is solvable. And if it's not, then it's a word that contains an X, and that will make it much easier to figure out. And if it is, then I'll probably go drop off some more letters. Okay, it's still possible to solve this. So that means it's probably one of my recent double letters, or possibly the Z, or the J. Okay, I'm gonna do some letter manipulation. We're trying to press forward. It contains the letter J, I recently learned, and so that immediately caused me to see that the answer must be janitor. So I was dropping off different letters that I got toward the end of things. This is now all solved. It shows me 0. I need to return to the control center to retrieve my Z. And then let's go back and see if by any chance the open nature courtyard graveyard has opened up. Because this puzzle is very close in proximity to this. But no, it hasn't, and if I X marks the spot, it still hasn't. It's clearly a place to dig. There's a graveyard below. There's a place to drop off a letter here. That doesn't seem to be the right thing to do. Alright, I think those are all the places I know I need to use my X, and at this point, other than the graveyard waits below, I think I've done everything I know how to do in this area. Like, all of the panels are solved, and so it does feel nice to have like a whole section of the world that I feel like I can mostly kind of forget about. I think I tried this before, but I can't like jump into this area, can I? I'm sure you can't, but I'm gonna try it one more time. This game is generally not too much about parkour. There was one spot where you needed to kind of do some good jumping in the first game, but that does not seem to be the focus of this game. Okay, what do I need to do next? I want to try to look for pedestals that have dots on them, because I really haven't paid good attention to that. So maybe I'll wander the world for a little bit looking for such pedestals. Also, why does it say 16 here? There's still a bunch of unsolved things in here. Like, I remember being here. There's 4 things here and 4 things here. Let me turn on, it's hard for me to see the geometry here. Right, there was kind of like a giant letter H here or something. But there's nowhere that my player can go in here. So to what does this 16 refer? I can get some information. Now it's 17, so these guys count. Shame. And the way that that just moved back, it's possible that it would move back even farther at some point, is the flap trap. That is 17 again. Maybe there are other puzzles that are just on this level of ground. I really don't need this texture pack anymore. So 16. What other puzzles are just like on the grass out here? There's one over here, for example. Born. If I get rid of that one, where does the count on this one stand? Still says 16, so this one does not apply to that. So where are the other puzzles that 16 is talking about? And that I don't know the answer to. I can do happy now. It probably involves an X. If you're super happy, you're excited. Probably either ends in an X or starts with EX. 6-letter word for super happy that probably contains an X. Or maybe a Z. I don't remember if I've been back up here since then. Or what about the J? Joyful. Okay. I believe I have solved the entire pyramid. So if I can find my way to the counter to verify that now. Let's find my way to the counter to verify that now. I'm trying to find my way to the counter. Is this an ant face, or is this like a letter V and a letter W and a letter H? W-H-Y. This spells Y. Y. Corners. What word did I end up getting? I remember brute forcing it with a B-R-O, but I wonder if this is like the 4 corners of the pyramid, like there were 4 painting rooms or something. Let me go look back at all the painting rooms. So W-H-Y. Still trying to find if I've solved all this, by the way. And it is down here. 0. Okay, congratulations to me, 0. Okay, so I solved all the things in here, but now I just had a new brainstorm. So where are the other paintings? You are not a painting. You are a painting. It looks like it's just a painting of an I, but it could also be an O and a letter I. Yeah, it's hard to turn that into letters, I think. I'm kind of second guessing my general thesis here. This is definitely just like a skyline, right? There's no way to turn that into letters. But there was the ant that actually spelled out WHY. That's another teleporty place, which means that's another teleporty place. This is another teleporty place. That's another teleporty place. There's a lot of teleports here. I feel like I haven't taken them all, so... Where did this just bring me? Right, tree trunk that's in this early maze painting kind of place that you can fall down through the ceiling to get to. Okay, and if I were to go in this hallway... Oh, hey! Phase, this is the place where I need to use the Z. F-A-Z-E. Phase. Tase? Days? Gaze? Haze? Maze. Okay, we got maze. Ways could also be maze. Trail and scale rhyme with rail. Rhyme with dale. Rhyme with... There's a lot of things. Sail. Let's just take a caps lock hint. Jail. Okay. Okay, and this opens more things. Great. 4-door. Wine mine. 4-door. Is there any rhyme or reason? Maze, jail. It's kind of like a maze jail. Tile, true, tune. Like, it could just be words. Like, I can just do this. More. More. Like, I'm taking caps lock hints because it feels like I'm just... I don't think there is a clue, and it's just exhaustively try a bunch of words that rhyme, and one of them will be correct. A. Rhymes with wine. Starts with A. I'm. Okay, that's actually not easy. What about this one? It's also going to start... No, this one is vine. Vine. But this one's not vine? I hit A instead of caps lock because I'm not good at using the keyboard with my fingers because I'm looking at the game. So I two-finger type, I have to look at the keyboard in order to press the keys, the correct keys. And I also have to be very careful. You can see I have a little reticule in the center of the screen that's where my mouse is. And oftentimes I will click in the wrong spot and not actually be clicked on the panel itself. And so I'm spending a lot of time looking at the screen, and as a result, not as much time looking at the keyboard. And so I might think I hit caps lock, when in fact I hit A. And that could really throw me off. Anyway, that's the story of what just happened there. Enter. Exit. I can exit the jail. More vine. Maze jail. Was this here? This is new. Okay. Sun. It has multiple solutions. Sun is one of them. But we must return to sun, probably when I have double O's type moon, and we're going to end up in a nighttime version of the world or something. I don't know, but let me put this in my notes. And before I step out here without looking, let's make sure there's nothing hidden behind any of these trees in the corners. Okay. Ditto over here. Oh, is this going to be the end? Did I just find another game ending? It kind of feels like it. Okay, so there's nothing on the outside. Before we actually go into the temple, can I climb the temple? I cannot climb the temple that way. It's not an end. Good. Was not in the mood for an end right now. There's weird... The sun is directly above, but this is like bluish on top. Oh, because the sun is directly above and it's casting half a shadow like that. Okay, so that is just the lighting engine doing what it does. Oh, equinox. Interesting. So that's making sure that I have some of the rarer letters. Heavy, light. These have dots. All of these puzzles have dots. Oh, and there's the end. Can I just go there? Hold on. Can I jump up to it? Yeah. Okay, so there's another ending. But before we do that, delay. Sorry, taking away 2 letters, day. Okay, so this is, yeah, it's definitely sun is going to become moon, and we're going to get a nighttime version, and this is like the daytime version. And equinox is the... It does have 2 solutions. What's the other thing? There's the equinox, and there's the solstice. Can I type solstice? I cannot because I don't have 2 S's. Knife. Sounds like knife. Has to do with day. Life. Arm. Add letters. Add 3 letters. To arm. Warmer. Day. We'll come back to that. Sun. Lawn. Rhymes with lawn. Dawn. This is probably going to be like dusk. Actually, I can type dusk. Let's find this out. If I do this, D-U-S-K. Dusk is allowed. Okay, so there's definitely going to be a nighttime theme to this area. And I'm glad I happened to notice the dots when I did. Means the same thing as jump, spring. So then there's going to be fall as well. So fall, dusk, night, arm, life and death, light and dark, equinox and solstice, I'm guessing, and arm. What could arm be that's like day, light, springtime, dawn? I tried like warmer, or what about warmth? There we go. Okay, so all those solved. Did solving all of those open up anything over here? Probably not. But it's kind of weird that we're able to get to the ending even without it, but maybe it's just to make sure that you see the dots and there's going to be 2 solutions for the sun thing. And also, can I get back to the sun thing from here? No, I think it just like teleported me at sun. No, the sun is right here. But yeah, whatever was behind me, like this wasn't here before. But in any case, we're going to get an ending, an achievement. The end! We got purple! So far we've solved gray and purple. Return. Okay. Neat. Neat. How did I get there? Because I wonder what happens when you solve that. Well, I can't do the moon version because I need 00 first. Okay, let me just put that in my notes. So, in any case, I was kind of on a quest to find dots, and I got distracted from that. Like, there are early... Yeah, trick. Trick or treat! I don't have 2 T's. But in any case, trick or treat. There's going to be another answer over here when I say treat. So let me put that in my notes. So in any case, ink. Another word for ink. Or another puzzle where ink was a solution. Is there any way to imagine what it would be? I don't have a little inkling of what it could be. Let's just try black. No. Alright, so I'll have to think about that. Wander. There's another word for wander here near the very start. Meander was a different wander clue, but that has a different number of letters. I mean, can I type that here? No. So, okay, I have to think about that. Here's the wander meander that I was talking about. It's actually just right down the hallway from this wander. Oh, and we got another ending, which means we got another trophy. The quick brown fox jump over the lazy dog by Brian. Brian is my file name. And quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog obviously is something that uses all the letters of the alphabet, so obviously we had like something that required the Q and the Z, or the Q and the X equinox, for example, and some other things that required all the other letters, so you had to get the whole alphabet before you'd be able to solve that one, I suppose. I wanted to look in the hinterlands. Is it possible, like I realized that, so all these are green because we have all the purple letters. Are these the cyan letters? So is this the cyan letter M right here? Follow the leader left, right. I have a cyan M. So hold on. Yeah, just backing up. Just look at the greens and look at my keyboard. Yes. So it is, again, keyboard positions of where to obtain the cyan letters. So I can see that cyan R and cyan T up on the top are other cyan letters that I can get. And looks like also cyan O. Yeah, and I've looked at some of these clues and I don't remember what they are right now, and I don't care to remember what they are right now because I have a little bit more new information and new understanding of the game to work with, and so I'll try to do some more on my own. And this is just the exit of the hinterlands, right? Back out into the control room? Yeah. Alright. To finish off today's episode, I thought I'd finally show off some of my notes, and so this is the first page that mostly is about what the meanings of the symbols are. So I have just kind of like my own textual description of a symbol. And so you'll see, for example, stars and semicircle, which is one of the ones that means category. And an example of it is tin became metal, because tin is part of the category of metals. And so, yeah, just some kind of description of what the symbol looks like rather than taking screenshots. And then my understanding of the meaning, as well as some canonical examples that help explain the meaning of the word based on actual puzzle solutions, which is important because sometimes you get the wrong idea. So, for example, with the Saturn thing, I thought it was just pluralize, because I had coin became coins and tuna became tuna. But then we had dolphin became pod, and I realized it could also be collective nouns or whatever. And so it's important to make sure that you have samples of all the ways that you've seen the puzzle work in order. So that's one part of my notes. And then this other part I guess you could mostly call kind of like loose ends and observations. I have a bunch of places that I want to return to for various reasons, and they're not necessarily all that descriptive, but it's enough that I can remember that I want to go back to these places. And also, like, when I got multiple A's and CA under the WinGet heading is cyan A, then owl painting magenta. I actually already did that. I need to delete that from my notes now. So I've been deleting things as I get it done. But as I was finding letters and knew that I was going to come back to somewhere once I had a particular letter or a particular cyan letter, I was making notes of where the things are and what some puzzles are or solutions are that I was going to need to use it with. And yeah, I have a little bit more in my notes, but those are kind of the main parts that I've been continually updating each time I've been playing. So I just wanted to show those off to go ahead and finish off today's episode. But I'm going to say I hope as always that you all are having a great day, and I will see you again soon with more Lingo 2. For now, bye-bye.